Am I the a-hole for not paying my parents' mortgage after my sister moved in? I 32 have been paying my parents' property taxes and mortgage. They are retired and have very little retirement savings because they put all their money into my sister 29 FNI's education. We both went to top universities and found successful jobs afterwards. I felt like I owed my parents for all they sacrificed for me, so it was a no-brainer to help them retire with no financial stress. My parents did not consult my sister about splitting these costs with me. Instead, the agreement was that I would get a larger share of the house. Fast forward to now, my sister unfortunately lost her job last year and as a result doesn't have much savings. She moved in with my parents to save money while she looks for a job. I recently found out that my sister pitched staying permanently in my parents' house, and my parents agreed. I was furious at this because I had been paying for the house with the understanding that it would be sold and I would get a larger share. It is very likely my sister never sells the house and instead raises her eventual family there, because the original agreement with my parents changed. I stopped paying for the mortgage, leaving it up to my sister to take care of if she's taking over the house. My parents are furious with me, saying I'm too money obsessed and should be continuing to help the family, while my sister is in a tough spot still looking for a job. Instead, they are promising that eventually my sister will pay me out for my share of the house plus whatever else I contributed over 8 years. I turned that offer down because there's no real guarantee this will happen, and I don't trust my sister to follow through financially. I may be the a-hole for taking such a cynical stance and leaving my family in financial stress, but I feel like I was already burned once through verbal agreements, and I don't want to get burned again. My sister is fully opposed to selling the house because of the sentimental value. I'm not on the deed because when you put someone else on the deed in California, your house is reassessed, and it will double our current property tax. There are also some implications to my parents' social security payments if I do so. I wish I got something in writing, but I felt like an a-hole asking for something like that from my family. It was naive of me to think that way. So am I the a-hole for stepping down and not paying my parents' mortgage anymore?
Here are the top comments, plus Opie's reply.
Not the a-hole. I think your biggest miscalculation was underestimating your parents' dedication to helping you and your sister. Your parents don't sound like the kind of parents who are going to turn your sister down for help when she needs it. Sometimes parents even go so far as to leave a larger inheritance to the child who needs it more in their eyes. Remember, if it's not written down in a legally binding contract, it's not yours no matter what anyone says. People can and do change their minds. If you are doing well enough to pay their mortgage but your sister doesn't even have a job, your deal with them is not going to be their priority. Their priority will be helping your sister. Whatever you decide, decide it with that understanding.
OP replied,
I wish I had heard this years ago. You really summed it up well, thanks.
The only a-holes I see are your parents for being furious with you instead of grateful for all the time you've helped.